like me. Has he taken any time to show? All right, got 4 people in the house. Woohoo, barn burner. This might be my last training day. My last stream for a couple of days because I have surgery on Thursday. Well, I guess I could stream tomorrow. But, what's up, yos? Get a little training in before my surgery on Thursday. Figured I'd do some, I don't know, some legs and squats. Maybe some stretching, that kind of stuff. I just closed the page. That's awesome. We got Nate and Bella. What's up? So 2 days from now, I will be getting my bicep reattached. All right, we got Polar FV, Bobby. What's up, Bob? Bob, I meant to text you earlier. You asked me if I was doing okay, and I was at the VA hospital. No, I wasn't at the VA, but I was getting my daughter's braces put in. My daughter now has braces. In the news today, we have 2 new baby chickens. My daughter got her braces put in. I'm getting surgery on Thursday, and liberals are insane. I guess I'm gonna do leg day every day until I get my bicep fixed. I want to do some like overhead pressing or something, but I don't really know if I can or not. I guess maybe I could try to do some light stuff. What's today, Tuesday? Freshly wild. What's my max squat? I think I could probably get close to probably about 670, 680. I could squat over 3 times my body weight. And I weigh 220 pounds. Let's do the dynamic back squat. So what you want to do is get a nice slow 1, 2, 3 second count. You break the stretch reflex, and then you fire. Shoot off as fast as you can. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. Try to do each rep faster than the last one. How old are you and are you natty? I am right this minute. 50. Yeah, I came off everything for surgery. So I don't know how long I'll be off for. Freshly wild. Those aren't 45 plates. Well, maybe you could educate us on how much they weigh then. No, squats don't seem to be bothering me too much. They get heavy and you have to hold the bar, it hurts. So I think I would have been able to compete. Well, at least squats anyways. I have no idea if I'd be able to bench, and I don't think I would be able to deadlift because I was pulling some weight the other day just to kind of get a feel. I don't have anything laying around. And I don't know, it just felt like everything was coming apart. So I just said, you know what, we can wait. If you guys are ever rehabbing an upper body injury, you just keep squat heavy and do a different variety of squats. Hack squat machines, this is where the Smith machine comes in handy. Your arms are going to get smaller, but your body's like, you proportionately, it's going to keep your strength levels up as high as they can be. You won't lose too much size. And squats translate to deadlifts. Deadlifts don't really translate to squats, but squats definitely translate to deadlifts. So theoretically, you could actually, if you use strategy, you could actually come out stronger than you were before. So I'll be in a cast for a week, and then I'll start physical therapy. I'll be in a sling for another week after that, like a Velcro cast that you can take on and off. Physical therapy starts almost immediately. It's about 3 weeks till I can start loading the arm. But really all I care about is where I can get to the point where I can press, even if it's light. Because I can do what's called occlusion training, and I can do really super high rep, like bench press. That won't hurt my arm, but I can still blow my chest up. I teach you all the ways of the force if you want to learn some old man tricks on how to keep swole with small, tiny weights. But ideally, we want to get back to being the strongest in the world. So, yeah, forever sequence is a good one. It's similar to that. Bob, that's what we were doing pretty much when I lost the use of my leg. And I couldn't lift at all. I had, if you recall correctly, I was doing like incline bench press, but because I couldn't use my leg, I couldn't get under the weight. So I had a TENS unit that I had strapped, taped to me, and I was literally had the electrodes going while I was working out so that I could mitigate the pain enough to train. Yours was good to go in 3 months? Nope. Yeah, that's what everybody's been telling me about, 3 months. Am I really the world's strongest Marine? I would say, based on dot score, yeah. I haven't found anyone that competes in powerlifting who's a jarhead that has a higher score than me. Although, if I don't get ranked this year, that's going to go out the window pretty quick. Mel, can I train with you? You like my hair, Rich? Oh, me, can I train with you? Yeah, absolutely. BFR for chest. No, I wouldn't use blood flow and inclusion for chest, but I would use it for my arms. Works on the shoulders pretty good too. End button repair. What do you mean? Elaborate. Nope, I don't know what you mean. Oh, I need creatine? Do I? Do I need creatine? What's up, Ian? I didn't want to train tonight. I had to do something though. You guys like me painting Warhammer figurines? You guys enjoy that? Hey, maybe this will give me a chance to blow my legs up so they look proportionate. Georgie, what's up? Yes, because we can hear you how you normally talk versus yelling like you're about to die lifting weights. Yeah, I've had these plates a long time. I was working on I did a little more work to them. Now the lighting in here sucks. I wanted to show you my dude. The lighting in the garage is good for bodybuilding, but it's not good for showing off miniatures. Well, regardless, I did some more work to them. We have 22, 44. We have 48 chicken legs. The train at home needs discipline. I'll tell you what, man. When I had this set, I couldn't do it. I kept saying I'll do it tomorrow because just sitting there staring at it. It wasn't until they closed the gyms down with the lockdown. So, in a way, we could thank our progressive friends for killing all the small businesses. What's up, the body beatdown? Yeah, I'm all right. Talk, we can understand you. It's hard to get my legs bigger. Yeah, well, I'm not a bodybuilder. I just strength train. So I mean, I don't know. I was looking at some photos of me about a couple of years ago, and my quads were enormous. And I'm not working out any differently. I do the exact same thing. Can you give ankle pain relief exercises? Yes. Is that my first muscle tear? Yes. That's the first time. No, I had a shoulder tear too, but that was partial, so I was able to rehab that. If you have ankle pain, what's causing it? Let's start with that. I would say what your legs look like is mostly genetic, I would think. I mean, you can make anything bigger, but how much bigger? Like, are you gonna look like Jay Cutler, not the football player. Achilles tendinopathy. Oh yeah, I have a few movements specifically for that. I was doing that earlier. Do I ever go running? Hell no. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I said I would never run again in my life. So if you ever see me running, you better follow me because that means some really bad shit's happening. No, I do sprints, but I don't consider sprints to be running. Sprints are a good squat accessory. Yeah, I'll do some ankle stretching when I'm done with this stuff. What sport has the fittest athletes? Oh, I don't know. The fittest, all around fittest. Like, define fittest. What do you mean by fittest? You talking about strength relative to cardio? I would think, football, soccer, or football, swimming. I don't think marathon. Like those guys look all like crackheads, and they're not strong. CrossFit, yeah, I guess. Basketball, yeah, they're in pretty good shape in basketball. Rugby, yeah. WWE, hell yeah. Cyclists, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they don't really have a lot of upper body strength, but they're in pretty good shape. I used to do cycling. I was a ping pong players. How's the arm feeling? It's actually not too bad. It hurts, but it is what it is. I'm gonna get surgery on Thursday. You know, I'll be honest with you, kind of like right now, I could still, well, no, I'm glad I'm getting the surgery. Did I do 405 yet? No, I haven't, have I? I'll be right back. So, did I say one of our birds is hatching baby chicks? Yeah, yesterday, what I do, I did 2 sets of 405 for 10 reps. I don't even feel like I trained. How heavy am I going? That depends on what my arm feels like. If it doesn't hurt, I will keep going. Happy Gilmore's the shit. Of course, doing my dynamic box squats is not a movement you go super heavy with. Who inspires me? Who inspires me? That's a good question. There's a lot of power lifters that inspire me, but they're nobody you guys would know. One of them's an older guy. He's in his 70s, and he's about to set some world records. And he has a bicep tear. There's Dan Martin, Ed Cohn. I have a lot of people that I enjoy watching, but inspiration. I like Alex Pereira because I can identify with him because he had a drinking problem. Oh, you guys are talking about the chickens. Larry Wheels. Larry Wheels doesn't inspire me. I like Larry. Yeah, somebody was telling me Larry Wheels had bicep tears and he didn't get them repaired. Like he just let them stay off the bone. I guess that's a strategy. I mean, if it doesn't affect your bench press. Phew. Polish chickens are hilarious. He's a little bit of a cuckoo, though. He's a bit of a spaz. Thank you, Cobra Kid. So, I got my blood work done. I got a physical. I got an EKG, chest x-ray. All of that for the surgery. The VA does that for everybody. They gave me a clean bill of health. So for all the people that were talking shit about me being on PEDs, he said that I was like one of the healthiest patients he's ever seen. And that I brightened his day because he feels like most of the people that he puts under are knocking on death's door. Thank you, Cobra. It helps you take a shit. What is he talking about? Ian's on a good one tonight. Are you 18 yet, Ian? When are you going to the military? Isaiah Harbor too smooth. I don't even know what to do with that comment. Okay, why do I need to drink magnesium citrate? Because I'm bloated? Josh P. Thank you, brother. I need to clean my garage. It's getting out of hand. Like, you don't see it, but every time I get ready to stream, I just push everything out of the way. So I got like piles of garbage that I move around. So if I'm filming over there when I'm doing the heavy bag stuff, everything gets shoved that way. And then if I film over here, it gets a little shoved that way. Okay. Oh. Do you have any high protein, high calorie meal suggestions? High protein, high calorie? If you want high protein and high calorie, that's go eat a protein bar. I'm more, I don't know, I don't really eat a high protein diet. I eat a 3-to-1 carb protein. So for, like every serving of protein I have two or three servings of carbs to go with it. Georgie, I wish I knew what you looked like so I could point out things that are fucked up about you. Let's see. We got arrows and Volvo symbols are good, but what the fuck is? I have no idea. I think it's a fairy. It's a fairy tale creature. To build muscle, you need protein. So what are you using? Yeah, but you don't have to eat that much. Like what? You don't even need a gram per pound of body weight. Like the rest is you're just gonna shit out or fucking hammer into your kidneys. All right. 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Phew. Who we banning? What happened? What I miss? Randy, how you doing, buddy? I'm just catching up on your messages. Let's see. I don't really see any issues with his messages. Who's he, Randy, who are you arguing with? I guess I'm trying to catch up with the conversation. Oh, I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm an expert. Okay. No, there's tons of studies, and you can dig into them. There's some studies, some of the most recent ones, and we're talking about peer-reviewed studies that are published in medical journals, where you don't even need a whole gram per pound of body weight. You could 0.8. Now, how would I know this? Well, okay, you could take all the drugs in the world and you're still not going to synthesize muscle unless you have the proper macronutrients, correct? We can all agree that the laws of thermodynamics still apply. What you put in is what you get out of a system, right? Do we agree? I don't eat that much protein. I mean, as a matter of fact, I don't even know if I have days where I eat that much. It's not necessary. Now, I'm also maintaining a weight class, meaning I've been 220 pounds for the last 10 years. So that could have something to do with it as well. But your appeal to authority doesn't really give you any credibility, because most personal trainers can get a certificate online in 2 weeks. And they know about as much nutrition as my 10-year-old daughter does. And actually, she can read peer-reviewed scientific journal papers, so... I'm a trainer. Yeah, okay. You know, why talk to the elite level, international elite level power lifter who has multiple world records and has been ranked #1 in the world for like the last 5 years? I don't know what the fuck would I know about it? Randy, though, there's your guy. But I wouldn't have banned his comments. I didn't see anything that was offensive. I mean, he's not the first guy to make fun of my last name. I mean, what are you, 12? Rich, you're in a timeout. But if my wife says you're in a timeout, I agree with her. When a twat waffle asks to be banned, grant his wish. No, I don't like doing that. The one and only Nicole. I prefer to dogpile on idiots. You know what I mean? If they want to leave, they can leave. If they choose to stick around, so we can all show the world what a moron they really are. Because you know what? If you're an idiot, you expose yourself because you keep talking. So that's usually the route I like to take. When is your surgery? Thursday. What's up, Rich? Into the Shadows 96. Oh, appreciate that. Monty, how often do you work out? I work out almost every day, but I don't train heavy more than like 3 days a week. You were only gone for 10 seconds. No, Rich, you're fine, dude. We're not that serious around here. But I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a nutritionist, you know what I mean? Like, I can tell you what works for me. A lot of people argue with me too, like people that are trying to lose weight. Who is it? Someone said, oh, I don't want to say because I probably rat the person out. But they were, you know, like you hear when you tell somebody that no matter what condition you have, it's still calories in, calories out, like you can't create matter from nothing. And if your body's storing fat, your body won't utilize that fat until it's told to, essentially, which is what keto is. You're basically no longer running on glucose, and you have to switch over to ketosis, and then you start burning your own stored energy. And everyone's like, well, I got a thyroid condition. I'm like, you still, you weigh 400 pounds. And then when you look at the way they eat, you're like, yeah, okay. I'm doing CrossFit. What's your opinion? If you like CrossFit, do it. CrossFit's cool. Credence, if you hope you have a speedy recovery. No, I didn't compete. I dropped out. I was torn on it, but I didn't see the value in competing if I wasn't going to break records, because I already have a total posted for my age, and I'm already qualified to compete at Worlds. So there was really no value in doing it unless I could do my very best. So I'm going to heal up. I'll compete in September, and then we'll see if I can get those national records. They're just eluding me, man. It's like every time I go for records, something happens. I hurt myself. What's up, Julian? Gaining 100 plus protein is super tough without using supplements. I don't know if I understand. Oh, I can't. There's nothing to flex. I can't flex it. Like, I'm flexing right now. This is, like, you see the difference? You know what I mean? Like, if I tried to flex it, it would hurt. Like, it's still there. This side popped up. So you can see, like, this side's like an anatomy. You can see the whole thing. And this side's just mush. It's like literally, like, there's nothing there. See you, Rich. How many inches are my arms? I have no idea. I'd be surprised if they were under 19. But no, I've never measured my arms. I don't care. Like, I'm a power lifter. Love you too, Rich. Sorry if I got over there for a second. Semper Fi, Credence, I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Alright, should I squat this shit or what? I'm gonna go with or what. No, so far no arm pain. I haven't had any issues. My only concern with doing box squats is if I do have to bail. Like, I don't really have anywhere to bail to. I have to lean forward and put it in the spotter arms. What do you deadlift? Right now, nothing. Right around 700 pounds. I scroll past your videos from time to time, not subscribe. I want to say blessings to you, my brother, Boogie616. Well, throw me a subscription, man. What's up? It's free entertainment. What age did you start working out? I think I was 40 when I started really seriously getting into powerlifting. How long did it hurt after it ripped off the bone? I'll tell you what. Initially, you guys saw it happen, right? It hurt really bad for like a couple of seconds, and then nothing. Like, it's a dull pain, but manageable. It's like a bad headache. And Doc said there's nothing, it's ripped off the bone. There's nothing to really hurt. But every once in a while, like if I reach the wrong way, or if somebody grabs, like someone puts their hand on my arm, it'll shoot like somebody stabbing me with a screwdriver. How was your St. Patrick's Day? Well, I was supposed to compete. Oh no, that was St. Patty's Day weekend. And actual St. Patrick's Day, we went to Grandma's house and we ate corned beef and cabbage. I could probably beat you in a paintball match. I don't know, man. We had a pretty good team. we would do 2x2 cover formation and just like, but some of those guys were good though. Some of those paintball guys were pretty good. You know, we thought, you know, being military and knowing how to do like fire team maneuvering, that we'd just go in there and mop up. But some of those guys are pretty damn good, and they got really good equipment too. How long is the recovery? Well, so I'll be in a cast for a week, and then I start physical therapy, and then I'll be in a polymer cast, like a removable one with Velcro. So I'll have to wear that for another week. And it's like 3 weeks until you're doing full range of motion stuff with weight. And then most people I've talked to said it was about 6 months before they were 100% getting back after it. Aaron, I can't help but notice you're a fucking moron. You can't spell. Like, first of all, lying is not spelled like that. Knit? You're not knit Irish? Are you retarded? How old are you, Aaron? Like, I can see you're trying to get my attention, but I don't usually, I don't respond to comments that are dumb. And so far you haven't said anything funny or clever, but I just can't help but notice that you look like you might be special. Like short bus special. Do you have like a learning disability? So if you're 10, I'm gonna ban you because I don't want underage people on my page, especially if they're gonna be talking shit, because that'll just cause problems. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove you. All right, Aaron. Sorry, buddy. I just can't. I'm not gonna get into it with a 10-year-old. That explains the spelling, though. Aaron, I will say this. My daughter is your age, and she can spell really well. Like, maybe, I don't know what they're teaching these kids in school these days, but it's not good. Wishing you all the best in recovery. Thanks, the Greek. Me and my brothers got drunk and beat the bricks off each other. Right? That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I got rid of Aaron. I don't like doing that, but I mean, if he's actually 10 years old, that's all I need is like some juvenile reporting me of a 50-year-old man for like getting into it with him. Work on your spelling, kids. Come on now. I'm not that guy that's like the pedantic guy that's like corrects people's spelling, but like you can't even write a declarative sentence. It just kind of makes me wonder. Now I'm sad. All I needed was a win, but now I'm just down and out. Well, what's up, Tom? Talk to me. The bar is starting to collect dust. Any quick trip to increase squat, bench, and deadlift fast? Yeah, I'll give you a really quick tip. Do the Candido 6-week strength program. And I'm not even joking. Look it up. Candido, Candido, or maybe it's Dito. It's if you follow that program for 6 weeks and you do it as prescribed, all 3 of your lifts are going to go up, and you're going to really get your ass kicked because it's a tough 6 weeks. Let me clean my lens here. And that's what I was doing to get ready for this competition. I've done the Candido 6-week, 3 meets in a row now, and all 3 of them I would have PR'd had I not injured myself, and I'm actually starting to wonder if maybe the Candido is too much intensity for a guy my age. Like, it's maybe just a little bit too much. That's what I'm starting to wonder, because it is a lot for a 50-year-old. I'm going to see who's here. The dogs are going nuts. Give me a minute. Hey! Who's here? It's just my wife's friend. My daughter's girlfriend's over. Yeah, I'm using peptides, Julian. Right now I'm paused on everything. I'm paused on all my medications. I'm paused on PEDs. I'm paused on everything until the surgery's over. But as soon as as soon as I'm done with surgery, I'll be taking TB 500 and BPC 157. That's what I used to rehab myself in the past. And it worked on my shoulder really well. But, this is kind of cool, though, because I really wanted to focus on Muay Thai anyways. The only problem is I can't hit. I can't throw a punch. Well, I guess I could, but I don't know what. Nah. That'd be weird. I definitely couldn't throw a hook. That would probably really hurt. What's up, Napoleon? Get swole. Yeah, I could go a couple ways. I could lose some weight and then get a little more athletic so I can get into fighting shape. Or I could try to blow up and turn into a meatball. High energy ape. Thank you, brother. I will never look as fit as you, Napoleon. That is just not physically possible. Don't think for a second I wouldn't rock that hair either. All right. Demetrius, did you injure yourself recently? Yeah, sure did. You should see me throw a combo. I'm so fast I can't even see them. That's what's up. What's your bench? Right now I have no idea. I don't even know if I can bench. You ever done any type of sport like wrestling? You must be new to my channel, Monty. If you check out my playlist, it shows you the training I do. I did boxing for a year, and then now we're doing Muay Thai. Used to do kickboxing, and before that, it was way back in the day. It was Taekwondo, and then of course we did MIC-MAPS, which is what would you compare MIC-MAPS to? It's a Marine Corps martial arts program. It's similar to like Sambo, maybe, where you just got striking, it's got grappling, it's got everything. It's a little bit of everything. It's not the best at anything, but you get a decent enough training. I don't like jiu-jitsu at all. I fucking hate it. And I understand that it's important, and I understand that it's necessary if you want to get any kind of competence. But it sucks. I hate it. I don't like it. Yeah, I just found out tonight. Pretty cool. Thanks, Bonnie. I appreciate that. How did you injure yourself? And yeah, I don't know if you can see the biceps. Like I'm flecking, like there's near. I tore the tendon off the bone. Just went blink. And I'm getting surgery on Thursday. I was a brown belt in Taekwondo when I was really young. I think I was a green belt. I did it for a couple of years as a kid. And then we did some points fighting, and that's, like Karate Kid shit. Not even that cool. And then I did smokers boxing in the Marines. Little kid, amateur kickboxing. That was a lot of fun. And then I had like 20 years where I didn't throw a punch. I just stopped training. And just so a little over a year ago, I just started training again, and I was training here in town with one of Freddie Roach's guys. His name is Paul Mayorkeen. He's a boxing trainer, and my kids didn't really like it, so we switched to Muay Thai, and we've been there for 2 or 3 months. I don't know. I just don't like grappling. I mean, I get it. Almost all my friends that train, all of them take jujitsu, and they train jujitsu. They have a Gracie. Um, what's his name that runs that gym? It's attached. So you got one kicks. You got Nick Blomgren. He's the Muay Thai. He's a K1 champion, and he has a couple jujitsu belts. And all those guys roll. I'm the only one that hasn't enlisted in the jujitsu course yet. Every one of them are like, you need to. You gotta learn how to do it. I'm like, oh, I don't. I know how to stuff takedowns. Like, I enjoy boxing. Boxing is fun for me. I'm not even like thinking about self-defense. I'm just thinking about the sport. I like to get in the ring and I like to box. For self-defense, I carry a 45. You know what I mean? Thank you, Sag. I appreciate it. My bench is 105. Kilograms or pounds? I throw in an extra 0 for good measure besides the other one. Any recommendations for supplements for joint health? So what I've been taking, besides Celebrex, is collagen peptides and glucosamine. That seems to really help with the inflammation. There's a cat in the garage. We got about 4 of them, and they have a cat door right there, and they run back and forth. I keep the garage door slightly cracked open, and they like to run in and out of here. We have a zoo in this house. He's got God on his side and bullets. You're goddamn right. What size is your squat plug? It's pretty big. I take it like a champ too. Any recommendations for supplements for joint health? I'm trying to think. Oh, turmeric with fresh ground pepper. I don't know why you need both, but they work well together. Turmeric is if you can get the root, like the actual, not grounded, not processed, it works pretty good. It really does. Colt 45. No, I have a Springfield Armory XDS 45, and then I had a Kimber 1911. I sold that like an idiot. I wish I would have never sold it. I got like $2,500 for it, but I wish to God I would have kept that. But I want to get. We got a Rock Island Armory 1911 A1, and that's a pretty nice, just a standard bluing, real nice, lovely 3-pound trigger on that thing. It's like it's got the double single and it's got the little hair tink. That's a nice little handgun. I would say the Kimber's an expensive weapon, but the Rock Island shoots better. It is a better handgun in my opinion. Black pepper contains paraffin. It acts as a catapult for maximum absorption of turmeric. Really? So, I mean, my wife's the hippie. She's into holistic health. I call her hippie with a handgun because she's a staunch Second Amendment advocate, but she's into all that home remedy shit. And she's the one that turned me onto it. And I always every time she tells me to rub tea tree oil on something, I look at her like, yeah, okay. But it fucking works. You got a Tesis A1. I'm not familiar with that one. Let me actually look that up real quick. Is that the one we were shooting? A1. Oh, yeah. Do you have the 5-inch or the, what size barrel do you have with that one? Yeah, that's okay. So that's the replica of the, that's like the direct replica of the Colt A1 that came out in when did they make the A1s? So 1911 to 1918, they produced the original 1911 as Browning, and it didn't have the dovetail on the or the bevel hammer. So you would pinch your hand a lot of times when you lock the hammer down. And they also reduced the trigger pull. What else did they change on the A1? I don't think much else than that, right? That's about it. Oh, did they make ambidextrous magazine release? Because I know in the original 1911, that one that came, the original only had a single magazine release, so you're either right-handed or not at all. Oh, no, they made the groove, the finger groove, the groove for the trigger. That's right. So the original 1911 was flat, and a lot of people, because they had smaller hands back then, they complained about being able to get the finger on the trigger properly, so they cut the bevel into the trigger. That's right. Those were the three changes. So they have the dovetail on the hammer, the bevel for the finger, and then I want to say the ambidextrous magazine release, but I could be wrong on that. And correct me if I'm mistaken. Hippy-dippy conservative. Yeah, so that's what I see. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. I lean conservative on a lot of things. I've always said I'm socially liberal. I'm fiscally conservative. So it's like, what does that put you? How much do you weigh? Right now, I weighed in at the doctor's yesterday at 228 pounds. So I put a little bit of weight on since I stopped training, boys. So I'm gonna have to watch the diet if I'm not gonna be working out. All right, we got 545 on here. The only thing that would fuck me over is if it hurts my bicep to hold that much weight, which is why I'm using the camber bar, because it's a little easier on the arm. That's not too bad. I'll do another set. Let me catch my breath, BMO, and I'll answer your question. Winchester white box ammo. I don't have a lot of familiar with that, but we use match grade 308. We use the Winchester Sabo slugs for shotguns. White box ammo. She uses 30-30. So, if you're going to give lifting pointers to technical athletes, what would you suggest? Everybody should be doing squats, heavy ass squats, and sprinting. The other thing is definitely some kind of combat sports, 3 days a week. Because you train, you want functional training. I'm going to show you guys my stretching and mobility routine. After I'm done squatting, I'm going to get into that because I can do that without my arm. Definitely cardio. Gotta have cardio. My cardio sucks. I just got done training to compete for powerlifting, and when I get close to the competitions, my cardio goes to shit. It's just horrible. So I need to get that back. Felt good, Demetrius. I didn't have any issues. What is the bench for? I'm doing dynamic box squats, and it's a 41-inch bench. It's like the perfect height for my squats. I don't need to use a bench. I could use a box, but it's just convenience. If anything, it should easily be like maybe an inch shorter. But it's right there where it should be. Pure power. We got a Canadian flag. Hell yeah. I hit a home run at my baseball game today. Nice. Lifting in the bad off season is showing great results. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, strength training. They say They say, oh, big strong man can't fight because they're not training to fight. They're not doing flexibility. So you take a guy that can bench 400 pounds and you teach him to throw a proper punch, he's going to put you through a wall. It's because they don't train. If you train flexibility, you're going to be flexible. I wouldn't have to have a spotter for that because I couldn't even budget to begin with. Can't squat 250. Thank you, BMO. Am I still in a timeout? No, I don't think so. Skipping rope is good for cardio. Yeah, we do skip rope when we're doing... I'll bust out the jump. Can I do the jump rope? I guess we'll find out. Should be able to. The guy talks more than he lifts. Yeah. Could you imagine if it was the other way around? Ooh, that'd be a rough workout. You know, Randy, I like having you here, but you know you could just like do this, right? You can go, then we can go watch your hentai, anime porn, or gay sex, or whatever you're into. Like, you don't have to stay here with me. But we like having you, though. We all do it at the gym. He takes his time with comments and questions. Yeah, I mean, that's how... Dude, how boring would it be to watch just a dude lift? I love I watch a lot of lifting channels to kind of get an idea. Like, one thing I've noticed is they take themselves way too serious. They get really upset when people troll them. And they just, like, they talk like they're, like, I don't know, like we're saving the world. You know, I'm lifting, you know, burning buses off of, like, you know, dead children or something. I'm a fucking retard in his garage that lifts weights. Like, I ain't doing, what am I doing? Like, why so serious? You know what I mean? They're not relatable. You know, it's like they're turned on all the time. Like, you know, it's not me. I'm a dork that lifts weights. I'm a nerd with muscles. What's up from Chechnya? Hell yeah. If Randy was respectful, I'd be disappointed. That's why we're... Thanks, Demetrius. What's my squat record? On record, I have 620. In the gym, the most I've squat was 685. I think... Well, see, the national record for my weight class and my age is 650. I definitely would have had that this competition. I really feel like that. I had that in the bag. If you were me to take care of Randy, I will, because I'm dynamite. Yeah, you don't want Napoleon on your ass, bro. Respect is number one in Chechnya. You know, I love my Eastern Bloc brothers. Equipped, no, 100% raw. I did, and I have all of them on video. So my last comp, right before I went to compete, I hit 600 for a set of 5. I did 600 for 5 to get my opener, and that moved really easy. I could have done more. On the trap bar, which I know the trap bar doesn't count because it's 4 inches higher than a regular deadlift bar, but I hit 710 for a double. So the strength was there, man. My bicep popped off with the arm. Powerlifting routines, you don't rush things every time you lift. Yeah, normally I take, in real life, if you guys weren't hanging out with me, I'd be painting my figurines in between lifts. So I usually have YouTube on, and I'll set a timer for like 10 minutes. Oh, you know what? That's what I should start doing. I should start setting my timer. I'll set a timer for like 10 minutes. No more than 15. Where did he go? Where's my timer? Where did he go? Uh-oh, I lost it. My little bulldog. Daughter's got a penguin. Oh no, she has a panda bear. Oh man, I lost my timer. Oh, here he is. So set this guy for so let's talk about rest and recovery. Maximum effort. If you want, and this is based off of research data aggregated in the last 10 years. Dr. Mike Israetel, he posted his references, and I read them, all of them. And the latest studies show that the most optimal rest time for maximum effort is 6 minutes. You don't want to go any more than 15 minutes because then you're looking into having to warm up again. You start getting stiff and stuff. So 6 minutes for all you guys. If you want to be able to produce a maximum effort, 6 minutes, and you'll be able to. Powerlifting routines. You don't rush things. Does studying require more discipline than lifting? It does if you're not interested in what you're studying. 100%. I respect American people, just not government. Well, I got to be honest with you. There's not too many governments I do respect. I'm a big fan of our Constitution. I'm not a big fan of the people that are implementing it. But here's the problem in America, and this is, I'll step on my soapbox and then I'll hop off real quick. We don't take personal responsibility for our own rights. We don't. We expect some wizard that sits on top of the, some savior like Donald Trump is going to fix everything. We believe that if we vote hard enough, there's some guy who's going to fix all of our problems, and it's just inherently impossible with the checks and balances and the bloat of the bureaucracy, and there's no possible way some guy in Washington, D.C. is going to know what's good for Chuck in a small town in Henderson in Las Vegas, Nevada. So it is our responsibility to participate in our own local governments where the laws are enforced directly. You're not going to get pulled over by, the Secret Service. You're going to get pulled over by the Henderson Police Department. They don't. The rules and regulations. You can, if you want to affect your quality of life, participate in your local government. Take care and take ownership. We know our neighbors. We watch out for each other. My wife, we had problems with speeders on the street because I got a school right next door to me, and wife reached out to a congressperson, and the next day they had a police officer out there when the school was getting out. Little things like that. You just got to take ownership, and that's where you can do the most good. We have to take responsibility for our rights, and if enough people did that, we wouldn't have the problems that we have now. And the reason why these crazed leftists have taken over the levers of power is because conservatives and people that are moderate just want to live their lives. We have jobs. We got shit to do. We don't really give a fuck what gender you say you are. I don't care. Go chop your wiener off. Have a great time. We don't care until they're trying to coerce our kids to do it. Now all of a sudden it's a problem, but then it's too late. We didn't take an interest. We didn't speak up. We just let it happen. And there's a reason why a fringe minority that's loud has taken over everything, and we can't, speech is censored on YouTube. But if we all spoke up, the thing is that they really believe that conservatives were a fringe minority and we were a group of extremists. They didn't realize that 55% of the country is not a minority, dipshit. But that's our job. Our job is to confront tyranny when we're exposed to it, I'm an MMA fighter, Camel. My coach make me train hard for 6 days crazy and then 3 days off. That's good. Yeah. Constitution needs to be protected and it needs to be enforced. That's the problem is, people ask about my thoughts on when the courts shoot down Donald Trump's executive orders. And because I'm a Trump supporter and most of the executive orders make sense. They're common sense, and you would think that these things would be implemented. But I said, well, that's how it's supposed to work. We don't want to rule by fiat. The executive branch isn't supposed to have the authority to legislate. It's the executive branch. It enforces the laws. So if he does an executive order and they contest it and the courts shoot it down, that means he needs to rewrite it and would come back and make it legal. That's how it's supposed to work. and when your team's winning, it's great to say, man, I really wish they just let them do it. But then what happens when the other guys are in power? Then they have once you've set that precedent, they will use the same thing against you. So you want it to be fair across the board, even if you disagree with it. That being said, there seems to be a lot of these liberal judges are also overstepping their powers, and then the executive branch can, issue impeachment articles. They can try to impeach judges that overstep their authority. So there are checks and balances for the judicial too. I've often said that if it wasn't for the judicial branch of this country, we would have devolved into a tyranny decades ago. If you look at the difference between our Constitution and, like Venezuela or like Argentina, so a lot of other countries that have devolved into tyranny, they didn't have a judicial branch. They didn't have the checks and balances our country has. And we're lucky that we have that. It's not a perfect system, but if anything, the one thing that our Constitution is blessed with is because of the checks and balances, it doesn't allow for anything major to happen. It's like a gridlock. You have to have a majority vote across the board in order to get anything done. And that's a good thing, because you don't want some populist to come into power and be able to make sweeping changes across the board and, essentially take over. Even though I would say that I agree, with the exception of some of the things, the way he's handling Ukraine and one of my buddies, a firefighter, he was fired. He was affected in the big government cuts. I would say with the exception of a few minor things, I haven't disagreed with anything that he's done so far. But what happens when he does? You know what I mean? Power comes from people, but only if the people unite. Correct, 100%. And right now we are really divided. I sparred with an 11-year-old today and came up pretty close to winning, getting better. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I go to the gym and I'm the oldest guy there, and some of those young kids whip my ass. Russia's not perfect, but we have our morals and tradition. I love the Russian people. I think your government, and historically, I would think you would agree with me, has been the worst in history. But I love Russia. Some of my best friends are Russian. As a matter of fact, the guy that I compete against, his name is Victor Gustarev. And I turned 50, so I don't have to compete with this guy for 2 more years. He's only 47, but he beat me 2 years in a row at IPL Worlds. And check him out on Instagram. He's a beast. I don't know how he does it, but he trains at 260 pounds and somehow does this water cut where he weighs in at 220. And then the next day when he's on the platform, he's 260 again. I don't know how the man does it. I don't know what kind of horse testosterone they're feeding you boys in Siberia over there, but whatever it is, it's working, bro. And he's awesome. One year my corner didn't show up and I was competing by myself and I was having some problems, and him and his friends, they cornered for me, even though he beat me. Like he had my back there in that competition. That was pretty cool. Second Amendment is the best. What's your favorite gun? Oh man, that's like asking what your favorite song is. If I had to pick one weapon, I would go with the Benelli M4 as kitted out for the United States Marine Corps, with a 7-round tube, one in the barrel, and it's got the adjustable stock, semi-automatic, reflex sight, and when you shoot slugs, it's accurate up to 200 meters. People that think shotguns are close range, very versatile weapon. I love that thing. If I could only pick one, I would pick that, because I could do everything with it. I could hunt with it. I could defend my home with it. I could shoot frickin' grenades with it. It's the closest thing to a Warhammer 40K bolter that I can buy. And then I actually have a Rock Island VR60 AR-12 style shotgun, and it's no Benelli, but it is as inexpensive as it was under $600. And then I kitted it with a True Glow reflex sight and I put a nice laser spotlight on it, and some other minor things to chooch it up a little. I got a 19-round magazine for it. As inexpensive as that is, I've never had a misfire with it. In over 1,000 rounds, it has not misfired one single time. The people are like, "Oh, that's a cheap polymer piece of crap." Okay, but it shoots great. I've never had an issue with it. And I can tell you right now, the Benelli Nova we have, the Benelli Supernova, the Remington, what is it, the 390, all of those have misfired. The cheap Rock Island VR60 has never misfired. So you tell me. If we're going in this subject, the only thing I want to say is Trump is making United States citizens have an issue with Canadian citizens, and I think that's all going to equal out. I think we got to give him more time. I think right now everybody's running a little hot with the tariffs and everything, and Trump is talking a lot of shit. Like, there's like zero chance that they're going to take Canada over, so I don't even know why he would say that. But here's something I was telling my buddy. I work with a couple Canadians, and we joke around. We're good friends. And I said, what would be so bad if you woke up tomorrow and Canada was the United States? What would be bad about that? He's like, and don't tell me your cheap free healthcare that they tax you 40% of your income on, because y'all come down here for healthcare. So, right? He's like, yeah, but it's free. I come down here for procedures. I'm like, do you hear yourself? I mean, really, what would be the downside? Like, I asked him, like, what would the actual downside would be? You would have your Second Amendment rights back, all the freedoms that the left has taken away from you guys in the last 10 years. That would all go bye-bye. What would be the role? I mean, I think it would be cool as hell if Canada was part of the United States. But that being said, Canada has historically been, our number one ally. I don't really distinguish between Canada and the United States as far as the people go. I work with a ton of Canadians who live in Vegas, and they all travel back and forth. I've worked in Canada. When I worked for Olin, I was up there in Ontario. It's cold. I feel like Trump is a Russian asset. Yeah, I'm kind of dumb. I just reset the stream on accident. I was watching from the beginning for 5 minutes. Oh, shit. Yeah, the tariffs are a power move. I think those will all iron themselves out. I'm not an economist, although I do follow geopolitics pretty closely. I would never tout myself as somebody that you should go to for geopolitical forecasting. That being said, I actually do keep up on it. Not even the driver's fault. Hit some black ice. Oof. Canada is woke as F. It's sad to see other governments letting them down. Yeah, that's the other thing is I don't understand how you guys have not run Trudeau, like how you haven't drawn and quartered him in the streets yet. Like how you have not risen up to slay him is beyond me. But we had our problems here too. My favorite gun is a 300 mag semi-automatic gold trigger Browning Bar Safari. I own one and I love it. Oh man, I was shooting 354 H&H. That big ass. So, what is a Colt high power? What's the difference between a Colt high power and a Colt and the 1911? Does anybody know? It flew off the road and hit you walking. Yeah, black ice is a bitch. If you show us a MAGA-related object, I will sub. What do I got? In the garage. What do I got? Where? I don't have anything. Let's see, that's Marine Corps. That's Marine Corps. That's Marine Corps. Let's see here. What do I have MAGA really? Let's see what we got. Oh, here, I got it right here. You said MAGA related content, right? There you go, baby. Paw Patrol. I don't know. I would think the American flag would suffice, but he's a puppet master like Biden was. Oh God, no, he's not. No, and anybody thinks that does not know our government. You know, first of all, I worked with the guy in the government for almost 10 years, and now I work in state regulatory, federal government regulations. My profession is directly related to government regulations, and I can tell you right now, like, he's definitely an outsider. No, he's a straight up populist. He's the anti. He's like, that's the problem, is they want to get rid of him because he's he fucked up all of their plans for essentially a communist takeover. We were on our way to globalism, right down the road, right down the middle of the road, right to Carl Schwab or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. And when Trump got elected, they just derailed that completely, set him back 10 years, and I'm glad to have it. No, he is definitely the fly in the ointment, for sure. Paw Patrol. You like that? Canadian healthcare is free. You don't need to insure yourself. Well, by free, so when they tax you 40% of your wages to pay for your healthcare, is that really considered free? Like, I mean, we can all do basic math, right? If you added 40% to your current paycheck, would you rather? Like, I don't pay 40% for my shitty healthcare, that's for sure. And then, of course, okay, the other thing is you have to think about, like, when they do pay for things like that with taxes, 40% income tax, I heard that the rates are even higher. It's actually closer to 50%. That's people that produce, you know, the people that live off of welfare, off the state. And I'm not saying I'm not anti-welfare. I think that if you need help, you should be able to get it. I think in a country that's as free and prosperous as our society is, we should take care of the people that can't take care of themselves. I have no problem with safety net programs. However, if you've never produced or contributed, and you might think it is free because you didn't have to do anything except for exist to get it. But I keep telling these people, someone has to produce something of value in order to free healthcare. Like, who's paying? Someone's paying for it. Trust me. Right? So it's like, if anything, it's collectivism. It's taking from those who produce and giving to those who don't. Like, that's collectivism. And I am vehemently anti-collectivist. Canadian healthcare is free. And then the other thing is all my friends from Canada who throw that in my face, how free their healthcare system is I was like, why do you keep coming down to the United States to get procedures done? Oh, well, we can't get that. Oh, really? Why is that? Oh, it's like a 2-year wait. Oh, really? Oh, we don't have that service. Oh, really? Oh, we don't have that equipment. Oh, really? So our shitty healthcare that you have to pay for actually is healthcare. But they have assisted suicide, so that's awesome. No, healthcare is a mess all over the world. It's like, on one hand, don't get me started, because my profession probably wouldn't exist if it wasn't for over-regulation of insurance companies trying to screw over, you know, people that get injured at work. I manage a lot of workman's comp cases, so I see the fuckery behind the curtains. And because our economy is driven by litigation and insurance, two things, and when you have government mandates that force you to purchase a product, and you take free market capitalism and competition out of it, and they can basically charge whatever they want for those services, it just gets out of control. And I don't really see any other, like, the only way to fix it is to basically open up choice and create competition. But how do you do that? You know, it's just like auto insurance. So there's a law that says you must get auto insurance. Well, Why do you think auto insurance is so expensive? Because you have to buy it. And that they do have price controls, and the government does say that they can't, charge over a certain amount, but that actually hurts, their ability to make a profit. Because if there was competition, that's like, I don't know, price controls don't work. The United States is actually more socialist than a lot of socialist countries. There's a lot of government control behind the scenes. They dictate who we can and can't do business with, and there's an illusion of a free market, but there really isn't. I do think healthcare should be free, but the problem is how do you tell somebody that went to school for 7 years that you must provide a service? Like, in order for healthcare to be free, you have to have a doctor, and you can't force a doctor to provide a service for you. That's like saying you could put a gun to his head and say you must provide a service. That's indentured servitude. That's slavery. So, you could say that's hyperbolic because it is, obviously. But at the end of the day, by saying that healthcare is a right and saying that everyone's entitled to it, you're also saying that you're entitled to the product of somebody else's labor services, and they don't have a say in it. So what'll happen then is doctors will be no longer willing to participate, and then who's providing the healthcare? It's a mess. It's one of those complicated issues that we could literally debate on for hours. I'm a free market capitalist kind of guy, so I think that there should be competition. I don't think anything should be free. I don't think we're entitled to anything. But you can also make the argument that if we're going to send $3 billion to Ukraine, why were we over there to begin with? Why couldn't we spread some of that love and take care of our people? That'll never happen because that doesn't help them. That doesn't help prop up the petrodollar. I live in the UK for 6 months of the year, and I have free healthcare in England when I'm there. It's like the VA. I'm a disabled veteran, so I go to the VA for healthcare, and I will say this: it's awesome. I love it. The services are great until they're not. You break a limb, VA's awesome. You get the cold, VA's awesome. You got the flu, VA's awesome. You get in a car accident, VA's awesome. You need life-saving cancer surgery? Yeah, maybe not so much. Maybe you want to go somewhere else. It depends on what you're getting done. It's free. Free healthcare is great for the minor stuff, like the non-life-threatening things. Great. But once you start getting into weird diseases, you don't want to go to government-run healthcare to get fixed for that stuff. You're not wrong. Some areas literally like social democrats. Yeah. Napoleon Dynamite is an awesome movie. Jesse, I meant when you go see the doctor, it doesn't cost you maybe for medication and stuff. Yes. How's your bicep? Did you get better? Hell no. I get surgery on Thursday, Isaac. But I am able to train. Liberty Garden. There's a true warrior right there. Liberty Garden, before you go to bed, you're a libertarian, right? Am I correct on that? Or are you just like a independent type? I heard bad things about the VA, but it could be rumors from abroad. So the VA's come a long way, especially with mental health. But there again, you got to be careful, because if you go into mental health and you start saying, I'm depressed, doc, next thing you know, you're on a list, and who knows what'll happen when they enact red flag laws down the road. Did you get hurt while in the military? A bunch of times. 80% of doctors' offices you have to pay now for now to be seen. Are you talking about with the for what, Jesse? Are you talking about the military, or are you talking about just in general? You squat that back there, DLO. I'll tell you what, let's find out. This is my second set, brother. I'm going to squat this. I'm going to hit this for a double because I'm doing dynamic box squats. You guess the weight. And we'll see if I can hit it. I did set a timer and I didn't even listen to it. Ooh, that hurt. That's my second set. Those move pretty good, huh? The speed off the block is what I'm looking for. No, it's a 545. Whew. Have you read the book Super Squats? Let me look it up. Super Squats. Book. By Randall Strawson. I've got a pretty good squat program. I can squat 3.5 times my body weight, but it's $16. So I am going to buy it. Add to cart. Bam! I just bought it off of Rogue's website. Iron Mind. Randall J. Strawson, PhD. I just bought the book. Freshly, dude is always on his grind. Thank you, Camel. Nice barbell. Yeah, I love the camber bar. It's really nice. Thank you, DLO. It is heavy, but I literally would need to, in order for me to hit the competition weight of 650, I'd have to hit that for 10 reps. I think I could. I think I could do it for 10. How tall are you? You look 6'4". It's all lighting, Camel. I'm 5'9". I'm not a manlet, but I wouldn't call myself tall either. Got to drink a gallon of milk a day. Hell yeah. The GOMAD? Yes, sir. To a point. 2 conditions. If you're lactose intolerant, that's a bad time. And 2, there's actually a lot more sugar in milk. Next time you look at a gallon of milk, look at the amount of sugar per serving. So it's great if you're trying to do like a gain mass, but it's not something you'd want to do long term. But milk's good. You're from Tijuana. Man, I used to go down there all the time, brother. I haven't been there in a minute. Last time we were down in Tijuana, we were eating tacos on Revolution, and this is during the day. I went down there. I was getting some automotive work done. They were redoing the interior of, I had a 300 ZX with T-tops, fucking bitchin' car. And I turn around, and there's like 20 federales, and they're fully armed standing right behind us. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck's going on down here? And then the 1st Marine Division said that the jarheads weren't allowed to go down there anymore. I guess guys kept getting arrested, and they were, they no bribe money or whatever. But man, I love Tijuana. Has it been a minute? I love going down there. That and Mexicali. Let's see. It's a classic book. They recommend a gallon a day. It's really classic, old school book. You'll love it. Yeah, so I'm a big... I don't really like Mark Ripito. I think he's a sanctimonious prick. But he's got some good stuff, and his starting strength 5x5 program is really awesome for beginners, and he was also an advocate of the GOMAD. Like if you get one of those hard gainers and you just can't put weight on, gallon of milk a day, baby. Clanging and banging. You're taller than me, good angles, 5'11". Yes, sir. My wife's taller than me, too. That and some other... yeah, no, just so you understand me, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the Go Mat. I am saying that it's not something you want to do long term. Does that make sense? Like after you get some weight put on you, like that will eventually, for some people, could cause some problems. Have you been to Puerto Rico? No, and I really want to go. Do you play chess? Yes, I used to be on the chess team, and my daughter's in the chess club too. She's only 10 years old. What's a meal you eat every day? I almost every single day eat eggs and ice cream. I have chickens, so we have our own eggs. We have 22 chickens. I have more eggs than I know what to do with. And I just love ice cream. So I usually treat myself to like some vanilla or like Rocky Road or something before I go to bed. Phone died. What happened? I don't know, brother. Have you tried half and half? It's a portion of the calories. Yes. Yeah. I think. Do you guys ever make protein ice cream? Like I started messing around with it. I have an ice cream maker, and I was just getting all the ingredients to make regular old ice cream. And instead of adding vanilla flavoring to it like normal, I just dumped a bunch of my whey protein in there. And I'll be damned if it wasn't pretty freaking good. Do you think the government killed JFK? Yes. But I still haven't seen any proof. Like, when are they going to release this shit? Camel, I have a question as you're big. What's the question? Do you like peanut butter ice cream? Not as much as like caramel, but yeah, peanut butter's cool. So I'm in good shape, about 78 kilograms, but I want to get to 85 pounds of muscle, or 85 kilograms of muscle, I'm assuming. I'm trying to think of a way of giving you advice that's not pedantic. Everyone's like, so I don't believe in bulking. I've been the same weight class for 10 years. I may be carrying around probably 12 or 13% body fat. I'm pretty shredded. But it's easy for me because I haven't had to gain any weight. If I wanted to bulk up and become like a 260, 270 pound bodybuilder, I could do that. But I try to stay right around 220, 230. That's it. And then I drop down, even like I'm usually between 198 and 220 pounds. For a variety of reasons. One, I'm 50 years old. It's rough on the knees. I'm athletic. I practice Muay Thai. It's hard to jump around when you're that heavy. Whatever. Fill in the blank. I don't, especially for guys my age, if you put on a bunch of fat, it is way harder to take that shit off than it is when you're younger. So I don't believe in bulking up, just eating a bunch of food and getting huge. I believe in what's like just a minor calorie excess. The same with dieting, minor calorie surplus, deficit. So what I tell people to do, guys that work with me, is I say write down everything you eat for 2 weeks, even a week. Get some good data. You wake up in the middle of the night, you eat a tub of ice cream, write it down. You walk by the kitchen and grab a handful of chips, write it down. That's 90 calories. Whatever, you're going to get a good picture of what you're actually eating. And then from there, you can kind of find out what your daily caloric intake is. You already know you're at a caloric equilibrium. Almost everybody is. And the reason why I can say that is because unless you're gaining 5 pounds a fucking day, your body's pretty much burning off whatever it is you're eating to survive. Some people are on a slight caloric surplus, and that's why they're gaining weight over time. But for the most part, we're at an equilibrium. If you can find that out, you can then make minor changes to your diet to either subtract a few things. For example, if you want to lose some weight, you get rid of like mayonnaise, maybe take creamer out of your coffee, switch from diet soda or regular soda to diet, that kind of thing. And then you don't have to make huge life-altering changes that are going to be unsustainable. You could just kind of, tweak things a little. Same thing with gaining weight. add a little extra portions to your meals, maybe have seconds, you know, like find out what you're eating and then just add 500 calories to that, and you will slowly gain weight over time. Now, the other thing is this is the most important thing, is you got to have progressive overload in your training. You got to have some kind of progression where you're going to get stronger and you have hypertrophy. There's a lot of guys, they train every day, but they don't have the proper intensity and they don't have the proper progression, and they don't make the progress they need to make. They might be in shape, you know. I know this one guy literally benches 315 for 5 every week. And in a year, he hasn't put a single pound on his bench, nor has he gotten bigger. But he can still bench 315 for 5. His body is adapted to that change. In order for him to do something more than that, he needs to create some kind of a stress so the body can adapt to it. Does that make sense? So it's like, I believe in slow and steady wins the race. We don't want to make drastic changes that are going to be unsustainable, because think of your system as like a pendulum. The farther it swings, the farther it corrects. You know, you lose weight, you gain weight. You lose weight, you gain weight. That's the yo-yo. Whereas if you're here, you know, you got a nice little sine wave going, it's easy to trend upwards, you know, or down. You don't want to be swinging all over the place. I wonder if LBJ had anything to do with it. I don't know, man. I've seen all the documentaries. I've seen all of them, and they're all inconclusive. I want to see the damn papers. Like you said, you were going to release that shit. Where is it? Do you think Canada would become the 51st state? No, but it would be cool if they did. Willingly. Yeah, we just want it to be fair trade. You have to admit that we've had some really, really, really unfair trade deals with Canada. But, you know, a lot of that is, well, part of that's being good neighbors. I mean, they don't have the population they don't have a sustainable population. So in order for them to have the quality of life that they need, unless they go back to immigration, because Canada had a robust immigration policy where anybody could become a Canadian citizen, and they especially wanted people that had like degrees or skills or, you know, in the trades. For a while there, like it was open season. You want to move to Canada, but then they kind of clamped down on that. And now they're having immigration issues where they're taking people in that are not contributing to their gross domestic product, and they're a liability. As a result, they're having economic issues. So a lot of that is the trade differentials is us supplementing them in a lot of ways. And I know a lot of Canadians, they get offended when I say that, but that's part of working together, because we've collaborated over the years. Military, all sorts of different stuff, and that was always part of the deal, is that in a way we're funding Canada, but as they become more and more progressive, I think is the polite way of saying it, it's become untenable. And I think Trump just wants to put the kibosh on that shit, and he's trying to use his big stick to do it. So look, this is what I'll say, is like, give the administration 6 months, and then if they're still doing this tariff bullshit, if things haven't evened out by then we can start talking about it. But it's just so soon. Everybody's so reactionary. It's like, you knew he was going to make these big changes. He said he was going to do it. He ran on that platform, and now these, you know, stirred up the hornet's nest. You got to give it a minute to settle down. It's like, people honestly think that they're going to fix the economy, and they're not. It's not going to get a little worse before it gets better. They wouldn't even give the guy 2 months before he fixes 4 years of the worst inflation this country's ever had. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, I trust the guy. I trust he's got good people around him. We'll just see how it shakes out, you know. Booked a haircut appointment on the dark web. Nice. What do they call those? Lakeshore quiet pills. I'm under 75 pounds, 26 years old. I want to gain about 10, 15 pounds of muscle the right way. Yeah, dude, just, you gotta eat. You gotta get them calories in, but make sure your training has progressive overload and hypertrophy. And you could just get on like the Wendler 5-through and follow that, or the starting strength 5x5. Test sip or sustanon? I would say sustanon, but right now I'm not on anything because I'm going to get surgery done, so I'm off. I came off of everything. Why is my comment removed? I don't know. I didn't see the comment. I didn't see anything removed. There's certain keywords that are automatically blocked, Rodrigo, and I'm not going to tell you what they are either. Yeah, they wouldn't even give them 1 month. Mr. Zach, I answered that question. You're going to ask me like that 20 more times or what? I agree. Wait 6 months. Yeah, give him a couple months. I mean, like, you know. Had to pull out. She was angry. Do you do PCT? No, not at the age of 50. I'll stay on TRT for life, essentially, some form or another. But anytime you want to have a surgical procedure done, it's like a good idea to get off everything. It can interfere with the healing process. Snip. So, in case you didn't hear me, Zach, I like sustanon better than Siponit. Siponit is... See, I like to microdose. So I like to... Let's say I'm on 200 a week, let's say. That's like a running number that I'm usually on. I'm usually on 200 a week of test and then 100 of DHB, which is dihydroboldenone. We'll call it old man trend. It's a good compound for building strength and size without the harsh side effects of like some of the harder stuff. It's good for guys my age because you want to have good blood pressure. You don't want to be risking cardiovascular issues, at the age of 50. So dihydroboldenone is at lower doses I've been really responding well on. But even though that's only 300 a week, I still break that up into 3 times a week. I microdose it. And the reason why is I have this theory that you get a nice, even, like instead of going, that you're crying when you're watching Old Yeller. You get really angry for no reason. It's just a nice, smooth. Never trained weights, never have. Only trained MMA and body weight. Well, I mean, that's working for you, but I think everybody should do a little bit of resistance training. Like, really, it's good to be strong. You don't have to be like power lifter, but you should be able to think about it like this. If you did progressive overload for, like, say, striking kinetics, think about how much harder you can hit. You know what I mean? And being able to bench 400 pounds doesn't necessarily mean you're going to hit harder, but if you can improve that kinetic chain and increase especially the fast twitch muscle fibers, while you're doing it, some sort of dynamic resistance training, you will be able to strike way harder. Let's see. Hey, man, if a skinny boy at age 21 start doing exercise at home with good food, can you make change in 1 month? It generally takes 4 weeks before you start noticing a change. But yes, you can. It doesn't matter where you train. I didn't even have equipment. I would go to the park and do pull-ups on the playground. I would start curling water jugs. I got 5-gallon buckets and filled it with dirt and put a broom handle on my back and was doing farmer's carry with them. Shit like that. You're around my parents' age. Damn. Yeah, MMA's cool. I like, I love combat sports, but no, I'll never stop weightlifting. Did you ever try a Trenbolone sandwich? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not a compound. I don't recommend anybody try Tren, especially if you're over the age of 40, because it increases your red blood cell count, increases your blood pressure, it fucks with your cholesterol, it messes with your endocrine system. It's got a whole bunch of downstream bad effects. The simple fact is they discovered there's no medical use for Trenbolone. So no pharmacy makes it. You cannot get pharmacy grade Tren. It is impossible. Anybody that's telling you that they sell pharmacy grade Tren is lying because no pharmacy produces it. Meaning some asshole in his bathtub is mixing it up. It might be good, it might not be. But there's just, it does work. It's probably the strongest, most potent compound you can take. But there's dozens of other compounds that have a lot of studies and they have medicinal uses. Like for example, they prescribe Anadrol to bedridden patients so that they don't lose muscle mass when they're when they're bedridden. Masterone was for breast cancer. They have research behind them. You know, trends. I guess if I'm young and dumb, I'm gonna try it anyway. Yeah, but not at my age. No, sir. Would be cool for sure. United States, one Canada. You know what? We should do. We should settle it by trial by combat. We'll get our strongest athlete, and then Canada get theirs, and they can just go at it. And whoever wins. I don't know. What would Canada get if they won? We'll give them the F-35s they wanted. I'm getting in ready to do MEPS. Oh, nice. I've been on a MK677 for 6 months. What do you think I should do? Will it even affect the process? I've really tried to stay away from SARMs, and the reason why is because they don't have any research behind them, human trials. Tons of friends that take them have awesome results. I'm not saying they don't work. I'm saying they scare me because when I go to look up research. So my wife's a microbiologist. I have a background in chemistry. I was going for my chemical engineering degree. What's the point? The point is like we research, we know how to read peer-reviewed studies and that kind of thing. It's like we're interested in the actual science behind stuff. And when you start digging into some of the evidence-based shit, like it just worries me when they don't have conclusive studies on stuff and they don't know long-term effects. So you don't really know, like if you're on something like that for a significant amount of time, what's it going to do to you long-term? They don't have a way to predict it because there's no studies done. I don't know. That's MK677, that's the growth hormone antagonist, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the one that mimics growth hormone, HGH? He puts Tren in his baloney, uses HGH shampoo. I wish I could afford HGH. I'll be honest with you. I would be right on that shit in a heartbeat. Especially now that I'm getting surgery. Fuck yeah. We're looking into getting stem cell therapy, and it's money. Holy shit. Good luck, Martin. We're here and ready. At 26, we recommend. Yeah, absolutely. So I was 100% natural until I was 46. Yeah, but the thing is people are going to do what they're going to do. You know? Nobody believes me, anyways. They think I've been on drugs my whole life. Yeah, dude. Not only was I 100% natural at the age of 45 years old, I was one of those sanctimonious pricks that would like bag on steroid users, be like, no, I don't need none of that. I'm all natural. I was one of those cocksuckers. And then after I went on testosterone and found out how much better my life was, I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to eat my words because I was wrong. It makes growth hormone, yeah. My sister had prescribed HGH for her growth problem, but my family couldn't afford it. You see, that's the thing. If it's prescribed, then that's something that the insurance should cover. But a lot of times they don't for things like that. I spilled my coffee here. If it's prescribed, then that's like, if we're talking about TRT, actual hormone replacement therapy, actual testosterone replacement therapy, that is a medical procedure or medical protocol. And for men that are actual low testosterone suffering from hypogonadism or any other condition where your endocrine system is no longer working, that's real quality of life issues. You know what I mean? That can change. That's a game changer. Even if you're just on doctor prescribed. I always say that if you're on any amount more than what the doctor prescribes, even if it's just a little bit, you're not on HGH or TRT, you're on a cycle. With that being said, I cruise on a pretty small amount of stuff. I kind of believe in like less is more, you know, use the smallest efficacious amount that you need to, because anything that's going to permanently change you. Like I can say I'm 50 years old, man. I'm over the hill. I had my run, you know what I mean? Like I'm not too concerned if like if my hair falls out. Like the fact that I still have a full head of hair at my age is like crazy. But if I'm younger, you know, my dingling stopped working, I'd be a little concerned about that, especially if I'm trying to work out so I can be more attractive to women. Like, or men, whatever you do. So let's talk about that. What are some ways to boost tests naturally, man? Maj and Ned, when they talk about natural test boosters, what are they talking about? Since the 40s, the male population in the United States particularly has dropped by 40% natural testosterone. So most Americans are in a suboptimal condition for the production of hormones like testosterone. They have the environment, sedentary lifestyle, Western diet, constant stress, the economy, worrying about bills, everything. It all corded, you're in a constant state of fight or flight because you got bill collectors hounding you, or whatever the case is. Shitty diet, maybe you're overweight, you're not getting any exercise. And as a result, a lot of men have low testosterone. Now, there's one of two ways you can do it. You could either fix your external conditions, or you can, you know, take exogenous hormones. That doesn't fix the problem. It might fix the low testosterone, but it doesn't fix the root cause of the problem, which is the shitty diet, the lack of sleep, the high stress, all that stuff. So when they say, like, if you do squats, it's a testosterone boosting exercise because it incorporates so much of the body that it'll boost your natural testosterone production. It will. All that stuff will boost natural testosterone production, but here's the thing that they don't say. It'll only take you to your natural optimal point to begin with. Your body regulates itself as a system. So what does that mean? It means no matter what you do to boost your testosterone naturally, you're never going to get to a super physiological amount, more than you would produce naturally. What it does mean is you can optimize yourself for the way you're supposed to be under optimal conditions. If you were taking care of yourself, if you were eating right, if you weren't so stressed out, if you were sleeping properly. So it's like why these test boosters, they make it sound like you can exceed the normal amount that a male would produce, and that's just not true because your body regulates itself. It's going to balance itself out. The only way to get yourself into a super physiological condition is to add it exogenously. Some of his intro, he's natural. I'd rather have a ding-a-ling work forever than be a lifetime daddy, right? Hell yeah. I'd actually be offended if somebody said I was natural. My best advice for getting better naturally: get better sleep, train more or less. Amen. A little too long between sets. What are you worried about me for? Good afternoon, just got here 15 minutes ago. It doesn't look like it's too bad tonight. Yeah, not too bad. I'm going to do one more set. Oh man, I'm glad I saw that. Why is my laptop not working? I'm about to lose my power here. Are we not plugged in? Oh shit, I got unplugged. There we go. What time is it? 9? It's almost 10 o'clock. All right, so I was going to do my stretching routine, but I've been talking to you guys for so long. I'm going to do one more set of these, and then I'm going to drop the weight down and rep it out. It's 5 a.m. here in London. Hell yeah, Camille. Camille? Julian's in the house. Jonathan 669. Oh, that's right, babe. You were talking to Michelle. Did she take off? Not Camel. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Camille? Camille. Okay, cool. I know I butcher names. I really try not to. I'll have to ask you, babe, how that went. It sounded like she was talking your head off. Hey, let me use the little boys' room real quick. I'll be right back. You gotta know where to hold them. All right, so I'll do, this is my third set, 545, and maybe I'll crank out 4 or 5 to failure. You never count your money. You're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Ow. Lightweight. 6 reps. Whew. Yeah, do I say little boy's room every time? Yeah, sissy boy. Them weights ain't gonna help you when you gotta put groceries in a cart. He's right. No matter how strong you are, you ever try to do that thing where you grab all the bags of groceries and make one trip? How do you know where I am from? I do not. Let's take a look at your profile. Ha, Sapenya, Zilly Bop. You got Simba over here. All right. I'm on a SIM card. Do you think 6 hours is enough sleep? I do okay on 6. So the thing about the dynamic box squats is you got that real slow 1, 2, 3 to the box, and then you want to fire up as fast as you can. So I'm trying to accelerate each rep. It really hammers the quads. So now, so usually I don't do more than 3 reps at a time on those. This is like really heavy weight for that particular exercise. So I'm going to drop the weight here and rep it out. So when I accelerate 405 off the bench, you'll almost see the weight bounce off my shoulders. 4 hours is good. It really is. Yeah, same here. I was carrying the groceries in, and it's always like the glass bottles. How high is your box? That is 41 inches of competition bench, so 41 inches, I think. Let's find out. Let's find out. Do. 17 inches. So yeah, that's competition. And then 12 inches wide. And it should be 47 inches long, not 43. So 17 inches. Now for me, apparent depth would be, let's see here. So I want the hip crease of my hip. I'm going to do this. Right there's where I want to be. So 19 inches. So that's right. That's about right. That's actually almost perfect. Oh, that box. Remember those dingy ass grocery bags? Yeah. Well, now that they charge you for them, they're a little better. Research saying otherwise. Research on what? How much was that? My box is really high. I thought we were talking about the other box too. We cannot film Christina's measurements. How's your box? That's like saying you're junk. Who calls it a box? I was dating this girl. Her name was Rebecca. That's what I call her, Becky. And for a while there, I called her my Xbox. That was a long time ago. I was a Marine. I was dating this. She was pretty, but she didn't. I was gonna get married to her. Got engaged. My best friend Clint, who was a Navy corpsman, and he worked with the Dev Drew. He worked with the SEALs. That guy was in shape. That guy was a badass. I was just a dumbass artillery Marine, but him and I were good friends. And one day he came to me and he's like, "Why are you getting married to her?" I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You don't even like her." You know, I don't. So, like, the next day I fucking called off the marriage. And she hates my guts so much. And I was like, you know what? We really don't get along. Like, what do we... Let's see. I'm not trolling, but I swear it looked like you were about to put that up your butt. It wouldn't be the first time. Actually, that would kind of hurt. Who calls it a box? Or snooch. Yeah, my snooch is itchy. Flo, he's got the cigarette hanging out. How you doing today, cupcake? Yeah, how's your day going, Flo? Ah, my box is itching. Jesus Christ, this weather. Do you watch combat sports? Yes, but lately I've just been catching the highlights. Like, is it just me, or has the UFC kind of gotten retarded? You know, likes putting cigars in boxes. Coochie. I do combat sports. Well, I mean, kind of like most of the guys that come to my channel do some kind of combat sports training. I'll probably be reusing that one. You're what pops in my head when someone says meathead, right? Yes, sir. Meatball. He's a giant meatball. I fight for small Russian organizations. Damn. Do I know who Wes Watson is? Yes. Yes, I do. God, I would love. So I'm 50 years old. How old is Watson? Is he like he's like 42, 43. I don't know. Maybe mid 40s. I would fucking love to get him in a boxing ring. I can guarantee you that guy can't fight for shit. Meathead. Yeah, I'm a meathead. Who is this Wes Watson you speak of? You guys heard of the Manosphere? Like these fucking assholes that sell their programs online to young men, and or they drive like rented supercars, and they live in, you know, fancy mansions, and they wear expensive watches, and they carry purses and shit. And, most of them are in shape. They do steroids, and they're really turned on. They're always amped up. They're talking like this all the time, and they don't joke around, and nothing's funny. And if you spend thousands of dollars on their program, they'll teach you how to be a baller. You know, you want to be rich like me, and then you find out like it's a pyramid scheme. They don't, like, their wealth is fake. They rent. So I live in Vegas. I can right now go rent a Gallardo, a Lamborghini Gallardo for $500, and I can park that shit in my driveway and stand next to it with my fancy clothes on. You buy my program, and you can have it just like me. But you know, it's not that they're good or bad. It's that they're full of shit, and they sell men on this image of materialism that is supposedly like, if you're like me, you're a young man, and I wanted to know how to get chicks, and I wanted to know how to be rich and famous and successful, and I had no idea what I was doing, so I joined the military and realized all that was bullshit. Did you see what he did to the guy in his gym? Yeah, I saw that. It looked like a bunch of people ganged up on him. Like, first of all, he was inviting people to come to his gym to fight him, right? And then when one of them showed up, he didn't fight him. His friends ganged up on him, and they beat the shit out of him using whatever they had laying around, weight belts. You know, they kicked the crap out of him. So he didn't even fight the guy. And then he tried to play victim, like, oh, poor me, these guys are always threatening me, and they're coming to my place. You told them to come to your place, stupid. I have an open invitation for anybody to come to Vegas. They can train with me, and part of that open invitation is to go to my Muay Thai gym, and we will put pads on, and we will put headgear on and gloves, and we will get in the ring, and we can throw hands in like a sparring environment that's regulated and probably has someone there to stop it if it gets stupid. And that's an open invitation. I love sparring, and I'll box with anybody. I don't care if I get my ass kicked or whatever. But what he was inviting people to do was, he was basically saying, come down here, and, you think you got the balls to face me, we'll go down the street, and that's violence. That's physical assault. That's illegal. That's totally different. The flag behind me is not wrong. And all you got to do is look in the garage at So, Jan is. Oh god, you guys are so fucking stupid. It makes my nose bleed. Are these letters backwards? Do you think they printed this shirt backwards? It says Steve Edom. Oh Lord have mercy. It hurts me. It hurts my brain. Like he's got letters right there. They're backwards. The letters on my shirt are backwards. But the flag's the wrong way. Yeah, I do Muay Thai. Well, I go to a gym and I practice it. Do you watch One Piece? Oh, my son's really big into One Piece. One Piece isn't my favorite. I'm more of a Bleach. Let's see. We just got done watching Sakamoto Days. A real big Berserk fan. I like all of the, of course, the Gundams, and we watch a lot of anime. Bleach is, what's the other one? Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm natural, guys, with tits. Yeah. And he's literally got gynecomastia forming, and he's screaming about guys with boobs. Hey, Wes was on here a few weeks ago and asked you a question about getting better upper strength. Oh, was on here a few weeks ago and asked you a question about getting better upper strength. Holy shit, it's been working. Well, Paul, tell us what's working for you. I love that shit. That makes my day, man. That means like I actually was useful to somebody for once in my life, and that makes me happy. Chili House, let's see here. So my guys blocked you because you're spamming, brother. You kill a good joke when you spam it. Do you know who Sam Sulik is? Yeah, hell yeah. See ya, Camille. Tony Jaa, yeah, the actor, martial artist. There's in Thailand. There's 2 traditional Muay Thai offshoots. One of them is like what you see in the ring, The Art of 8 Limbs, and then Tony Jaa. It's like it's called something different though. It's not called Muay Thai, but they sprung from the same. He's a lot more like that flying knee stuff, real acrobatic, real awesome. A lot of fun to watch. But Muay Thai is more combat effective. I can't do so. I popped my bicep, and I'm getting surgery on Thursday. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to really search or anything until they fix that. You gonna watch some new Karate Kid movie? You know, I want it to be good, but I have a feeling it's not going to be. I'll probably watch it. What, Pat, you don't think I trained legs enough as it before? I could squat 3.5 times my body weight. What the fuck? But yes, yeah, I'm training legs more. I don't know what else to do. Don't rush back after surgery. Let that reconnect. No, I'm going to follow exactly what the doctor tells me to with physical therapy. So it's going to be leg day every day. Useful for one person, Christina says. Leg day every day. Yay. All right, let's crank this last set out here. Oh, god damn it. Give me a second. Leg day every day. Yay. Baby chickens are so damn cute. The only thing is they turn into big chickens. Do you know who Shizzy is? Is that one? Let me look him up. I think I do. Oh yeah, that guy's a freak. He's a big boy. I'm stronger than him. Ha! Maybe not right this minute. I'm stronger than Sam Sulek. I like Sam though. People ask me, like, what do you think of Sam? He does a lot of drugs. I'm like, well, he's living his best life. You know, he's young, like, whatever. Like, he's having a good time. There will be consequences. There always is. I would always tell people, like, that are thinking about using steroids, don't do it unless you've got a really good reason. And I would say he's making a living off of YouTube, and he's living a really good life, and it's bringing him fame and riches, and, you know, hey, I would, if I could do the same thing, I would. But if you don't have that going for you, if you don't have a really good reason, if you're not trying to get records, you're not competing in some sort of sports where it's going to enhance your performance, and it's important for you to, you know, that drive to compete and succeed is there. There's a lot of good arguments for the use of performance-enhancing drugs, but to take them recreationally just to look better is not one of them, in my opinion. Sam Sulek has moved towards being a stage athlete rather than a power lifter. Yeah, but he's he's still pretty strong though. I was watching, like, if you look at like, who's a good example? Jay Cutler. You know, Jay might not be a power lifter, but I was watching him do, like, the shortened rate, like Spoto presses for 405 pounds. Like, you know, that's a lot of weight. Like, you could say, well, he didn't go all the way down and up, but he's just pumping out 405 like it's nothing. And I'm like, you just don't do that. You know, that's strong. So a lot of those guys, they could if they wanted to. You know, he got stabbed and went to the gym the next day. That's a man right there. Boss says he doesn't want to mess with me. I'm harmless. I would say, like, I got a really mean left hook, and I was surprised some people with how fast I am for my age. But outside of the ring, I am the most harmless person you will ever meet. I have never started a fight in my life. That being said, if you corner me and you don't give me an option, it's going to be a bad day for someone. So was the guy that came in here said that my max leg press was 790 for full rep, 1110 for half reps. So, yeah, I remember, Paul. I barely even touch 180 pounds. I've been doing squats, farmer carry, and working on my lats, wrists, and core strength, doing exactly what you recommended. That's awesome, dude. But I try to max PR bench at all my other upper body workouts. Have easily doubled doing full body workouts at least 4 times a week. Cardio too. What are you doing for? So I'm glad to hear that's working for you. I kind of knew it would. See, I really hesitate. The reason why I'll never call myself a trainer or a coach is because, like, you know, I've been lifting a long time. I kind of know what works and what doesn't, but a lot of it's anecdotal, and, you know, what works for me is not going to necessarily work for someone else. And a lot of it's because I don't have context. I don't know how long you've been training. I don't know what your program consists of. You know, you gave me a pretty good picture of what you were doing, and I had a feeling that it was going to work for you. But, you know, it's one of those things where if it didn't, you know, you'd come back and say, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, just as easily. Like, I've yet to really steer anybody wrong, but, like, the way I train is so simple. You know, what do? I do 3 warm-up sets, 3 working sets, 1 set to failure, whatever lift that is. I take 1 set to failure. That's my training. And so it could be any lift. It could be an accessory. It could be the main squats. It could be curls. I don't really do curls, but if I did, I would do 1 set to failure. And and then I track progression, so I make sure that something is going up, either weight or reps. And then I rotate rep ranges, and that's it. I mean, like, I could literally get, if you time the amount of actual weightlifting I've done this entire session, it's probably been, what, 10 minutes? You know? What do you think of Jake Paul? I want to like him. He really pissed me off with that Tyson thing. You know, I could tell Mike Tyson was not allowed to actually box him. You could just look at it. I watched that boxing match, and I saw him pull, like, 3 times. He pulled his punch, and then he was telegraphing that little jump hook he does. And you could say, well, the first time he telegraphed it, I trained boxing, so I'm looking at this like, why did he telegraph that? Like, you can say, well, he's getting old. No, you don't telegraph. Like, just because you're old doesn't mean you develop bad habits. He telegraphed that thing 3 times, and on the 3rd time, I was like, oh, this isn't work. They're not even, like, he would have killed him in the first 30 seconds if he would have just unloaded on him. And I would have respected the shit out of him if they actually went at it. Like, that would have been awesome. Jake Paul gave 8 million to Mike Tyson not to knock him out. Yeah, that makes sense. Paul, intake a shit ton of protein, creatine, and ashwagandha. Curls have been beating my ass. What am I going to do? He said, ashwagandha, how's that working for you? Because I have some, and I hesitate to take it. It was a stage fight. It was totally a stage fight. I know it was. I watched it. Like, you know, I'm not trying to tell you guys I'm a great boxer, but I am confident. I know what I'm doing. And when I was watching him, you know, you just don't, the guy is the master of the peekaboo system. He's one of a handful of people on the planet that still knows how to do Castellano's system. And he trained, what's his name, to fight the Gypsy King, big boy with, oh God, this is how I can tell I'm getting older. I can't remember names. But he trained, you know, he knows how to, he knows, you might be 56, but that doesn't mean you're going to start, like, throwing shitty punches. You might be slow. You might lose a little coordination, but you're not going to do that shit. C. Robbins, what's up? I remind you of Goldberg? Damn. Goldberg's big. Yeah, and Francis Ngannou. Like, I was watching him just training him, and the way he was hitting the bag, just showing him how to hit it. Like, that right there, I did not see in the ring. Ashwagandha, I've been taking for years. It works wonders. Saffron, yes. I have ashwagandha, and I found out it was in one of the supplements that I take regularly, and I'm like, oh, okay. It just scares me because I got addicted to kratom, and I got really badly addicted to it to where I had to go to rehab, and I was spending $500 a month on this shit, and the withdrawals are worse than heroin. And so anytime I see like this natural stuff, it's all natural. I'm like, you get it, okay, maybe. I'm just real hesitant, you know. You think Mike should fight someone close to his age? Yeah. I mean, well, he had that exhibition match with Roy Jones Jr., right? And they both agreed not to hit each other in the head much. Fine. That was perfect. You got to see flashes of 2 old dudes going at it. It was a good time. Mike trained way harder to go up against Jake. I don't know why he was not let off the leash. It really bums me out. I was watching him spar with his training partner. He was fucking that dude up. You can take large amounts of ashwagandha without getting hooked. It needs to be to become addictive. Okay. Yeah, kratom sucks. Same with me. So you went through that too, huh? The withdrawals are terrible. I had to hospitalize myself. I couldn't do it. That's my wife saying ashwagandha is not addictive. I don't know. Ever since you know, babe, you were there. You went through it with me. Ever since I got off of kratom, I'm super hesitant to mess around with herbal remedies. But a lot of people say they do good for them. What do you think about Conor McGregor? He's a clown. I can't stand him. I think he's an awesome martial artist, top 5 best all time. But these infantile egomaniac caricature that he's turned into, that used to be an act, and now he is that guy. He's morphed into him. Um, just is insufferable. Like, he's the worst kind of man. That being said, I have nothing against him. He's living his best life. You be you. You know what I mean? I don't hate the guy. I'm not. I just. I think he's just a horrible example of masculinity, if that makes sense. Everything about these guys is about what kind of car you drive or how much money you make. They don't care about, you know, people. What would like Wes Watson or someone like Conor McGregor or someone like that say to me? They're like, well, you're getting a Bugatti's not an option for you, so you should have an opinion on it. I'm like, okay, I got a GT Mustang that's modified, it's sitting in the driveway, and it's by no means a Bugatti, but it's a fast fucking car. And if I wanted to, I could have traded it in. I had a C-Class Mercedes C350 for a while. That was okay, you know. Could I buy an expensive car or truck? We had $100,000 fucking Tahoe, you know. I don't want a huge car bill. Like, things aren't interesting to me. Like, I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't care what kind of watch you have. I don't care. I'm not saying I'm against that stuff. I like watches. I like shoes. I like cool stuff. But it doesn't drive me. I'm not materialistic. I don't think that it does anything to improve you as a person. Just like being able to lift more weight doesn't make you a better person than someone that's not as strong as you are. And things that are important to me are experiences, family, being able to spend quality time with the people I love. The reason why I turned down a promotion at work is because it would have taken me away from my family, and for the amount of money that I would have been made, it would have made my home life worse. So it's like, living modestly, it's about striking a balance so that you can do the things you love to do and be with the people you love to be with, but still make enough money to support everybody. To me, that's like that's where you want to be. Bruce Lee was still alive. What do you think he'd be doing? I bet he'd still be training. I bet you he would be. There's nothing wrong with weed for 8 riders. I got no problems with weed. I just stay away from it because anything mind altering, I just stay away from. If you're over 50, TRT can change your life. It does change your life. Highly recommend. I would love to drive a Mustang. You'd like ours, man. Ours is pretty sweet. It's got the 4.6, but I got it naturally aspirated to just under 400 pounds to the rear wheels. It's got 373 gears in it. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and it's got 3-inch straight pipes of resonators in it, kind of like glass backs. She sounds mean. I got 305s on the rear. We're gonna put a supercharger on it. But that being said, it's a Mustang. It's not that. That's like a kind of like, if you could afford a Bugatti, you probably wouldn't get a Mustang for your 16-year-old's birthday. You know what I mean? I drive a Chevy Colorado with a 6-cylinder for work. My wife's got a Tahoe, and then we got the shitbox, was a Chevy Sonic RS. It's got the RS package. It's like it's trying to look like a Camaro, but it's not pulling it off very well. That being said, that little piece of shit will do 60 in 7 seconds, which isn't bad for a 1.6 liter lawnmower engine. You would like my truck? It's a full body workout to drive. Yeah. So I've always had, like, I had an F250 with a 7-liter, and it was stick shift. I had a Chevy Silverado short bed with step sides, and that had a 454 in it, and it was stick shift. I've always had like shitty old trucks, and they were all stick shift. Non-hydraulic electric steering. Damn, hell yeah. 14,000 pounds sitting on 45s. I got suspended for. Damn. Uh, Short bed step side is rare. Yeah, it was a 78. 78 Silverado. I wish I still had it, man. It was I call it the Cowboy Cadillac. It had bench seats in it. Oh, you know what's really cool? I wish we got rid of it. We had a 4Runner 2-door. It was a 91, and I had 34-inch Mickey Thompsons on it. No, they were the BF Goodrich, the Kevlar, or the yeah, they were the Kevlar ones. They were 30, the big ass tires, and I think it had a 3-inch lift kit on it. But it was still had the original 4Runner V6, that little tiny, what is it, 3-liter? So it didn't have a lot of, it was not fast at all, but it was a nice little rock crawler. It had solid gear ratio, and it would get over some stuff. That being said, what I really wanted to do to it is put a 305 in it. Oh, my wife, Christina, had the Ultimate. She had a, what year Corolla did you have? 76? And fastback? Printed an S10 with a 350. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, we put a big block in ours and just put I want to say it had two, probably double pumpers, but I can't remember the CFMs on them. But it was just basically two 4-barrel carburetors, and it got some obnoxious 9 miles to the gallon. It was horrible. The U.S. school system truly is a failure. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, Christina had the Celica. I said Corolla. So she had the Celica fastback, the ones that a lot of people put Cleveland's in. The U.S. school system is a failure. Did you know that we found out, Christina and I, that our kids, they don't teach them phonics anymore. They learn to memorize words by sound. So that means if a word is similar to another one that they've learned, they can't fucking read. Did you know that only 70% of the country can read past the 10th grade level? That means, 30% of the country can't read past the 10th grade level. That's fucking nuts. Yellow Celica ended up with a piston flop. They're so hard to find. I've been trying to find her one, and nobody will part with them. They will not sell them. Oh, you had the lift back, not the fastback? That sounds like my old F. What's the difference? Sounds like my old F-150 got around 5 miles a gallon because it ran rich. Yeah. You would go from elevation to elevation, ain't tuning that fucking carburetor. That's a problem in California because, you go to Camp Pendleton where it's sea level, and then you drive out to, Big Bear, and it's, elevation's 10,000 feet. It's like, what are you going to do? Get out and tune the carb? What kind of juice you on? Right now I'm not on anything because I'm going to get surgery on Thursday, so I am off of everything completely. But that is only temporary. I know a guy who can barely read at all, and most people I see read stuff every 3 or 4 words. It's been going a long time, I guess. Yeah, that's just crazy to me. I didn't even realize that they stopped, kids can't sound words out. They memorize the words, reading comprehension's in the toilet, so you got kids that can read, and then when you ask them to summarize what they just read, and they're staring at you like, I don't know what you mean. What did you just fucking read, dude? And I'll be honest with you, that's why I got my kids reading comic books or manga, whatever. If you're interested in it, read it. I don't give a shit. As long as you can comprehend the words that you're reading, that's great. You look like you're about to go Super Saiyan, burn out of your head. Yeah, you like that? Reading is considered high. Let's see. Mine was yellow, but it ended up with a piston flop. Let's see. What does your shirt say? beast mode. you know, I need a shirt to let me know that, let everybody know that I'm in beast mode. 22, my back is whack already. Squat 495, but I'm worried about getting to your age. Damn. Well, here's what I can tell you, Mace JP. I can squat the better part of 700 pounds, which is well over 3 times my body weight, and my knees are perfectly fine. What do you normally run? Usually about 200 milligrams of test and 100 milligrams of DHP, which is dihydroboldenone. And then when I get ready for competition, we'll bump that up a little. Oh shit, my leg fell asleep. Let me get my head in the game here and get this last set done. Yeah, I was squatting 600 for reps a little over a week ago. Now, I've had knee surgery, but that was not lifting related. That was an injury that I sustained in the service. Do you still get the newspaper delivered in the States? They do, but I don't know anyone who does. If you went back in time to the Roman Empire in a fully charged iPhone, do you think you could take over the world? Beat me up and call me gay. So if I had the wealth of human information in the palm of my hand, could I take over the world? No, I don't know. I've often had this thought, though. If I sent a fire team of Marines back with just like AR style rifles and enough ammunition to bunker up for a while, how many legionnaires would the Romans have to throw at me before they would be overwhelmed and unable to hold them off? That's four Marines, 3 AR rifles, and just for shits and giggles, we'll make one of an M249 squad automatic weapon. I think we could stand off the entire Roman. I don't know. Interesting thought experiment. There were fast cars, Christina, and they look good. Beetlejuice in the back, actor going Super Saiyan mixed with Vegeta. Vegeta, yeah. Stay standing up, your leg fell asleep. Yeah. I never get bigger arms. Well, that could be from a couple of things. Usually, failure to get bigger is diet related. Because here's the thing, I've been maintaining a weight class for 10 years. I've been 220, between 198 and 220 for 10 years, and I've not gotten any bigger, but I've gotten way stronger. So you can get strong as hell without putting any size on, is the point I'm trying to make. In order to put size on, you gotta consume, you gotta eat. Oh man, I waited way too long to do this. We're doing it anyways. No excuses, god damn it. I'm gonna join the conversation too much. Plus, I won't be able to get online for a couple days because I'm going to get surgery. I guess I could probably get on tomorrow night, but we'll see. Watch how fast I accelerate off the box. So we do a nice slow decline. 1, 2, 3. Felt wonderful. Yeah, who needs arms? Dude, I've split jeans squatting. I have it on video. I had my work jeans on. And I did like a 650-pound squat and just depends on the armor you guys are wearing. Yeah. Yeah, if they threw arrows at us. Well, see, that's the thing though, is you could way outrange an arrow with a with an AR. How's the arm feeling? That's okay. I'm glad I stopped by. Hell yeah, Paul, I really appreciate it. And honestly, Paul, hit me up on Instagram. If you want some coaching, we can work together. If I don't get back to you immediately, don't worry, I will eventually. I'm a little slow on checking my messages sometimes, but I do check them. Whew. Yeah, you don't need to pay me, dude. I mean, this is all shit you could get for free anyways. So here we do. What I'll do is I'll strip the weights and work my way down. Let me set a timer here. We'll do superset. And then we'll call it a night. You offer coaching, reach out to me on Signal, please. I still have Signal. Yeah, I'll reach out to you. Wish I had some money to donate. You know, I was talking to Christina about this. It's like, I've made probably enough money on YouTube to cover my training. Awesome, right? But I work construction. I can just work a day or two overtime. It would make way more money. But here's the cool thing is I like this. It's fun for me. So it's like, yeah, if I can make a few bucks, cool. You know what I mean? But I'm not like in it to, like, I'm not trying to make this like, if I can make enough money to support my family on YouTube, I totally would, but I have no illusions of that ever happening. Superhuman, you'll make it through surgery. My wife's a surgeon if you need one. Well, yeah, I'm getting my bicep reattached on Thursday. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Well, I have Facebook too. If you don't have Instagram, I'm on Instagram, and it's an easy way to message me. How long you been training, buddy? Ernest. This kind of training about 10 years. Whew. Yeah, before that, I was a jarhead. We did a lot of like body weight stuff, but I actually played a lot of basketball. I was shooting hoops 5 to 6 days a week. You know, that's the first thing we do when we get off work is head down to the courts. I played for the division team. I played a year of junior college ball. I was a decent shooting guard, and that's how I blew my knee out the first time. Christina says more like 15 years. Really? Has it been? Yeah, well, let's see. No, because my first powerlifting competition was 40 and I'm 50. So, but I guess I did start training heavy like 38, 30, something like that. That sounds about right. Paul, thanks, man. You don't have to give me anything, but I really appreciate it. You know, man, we're all in the same boat. You know what I mean? It's tough for everybody. But I do appreciate it. I really do. Dallas 10, yeah. When I play basketball, I just pass. I love basketball, but I don't know if my knees can handle it. Like when I start jumping around on concrete, they swell up, and I'll be sore for days, man. Does the arm feel better? Yes, but it's not fixed. I'm getting surgery in 2 days. 11th Infantry tore my ACL playing ball, not in combat, right? Hey, it's still, if you're on active duty, it doesn't matter, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I got that 48 stitches in my back skiing. Do you want to get with big arms, D barbell curls, heavy sets of hammer curls, heavy sets of failure finish off? Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Martin, but you can also get pretty decent sized arms by doing lots of heavy rowing motions. like pull-ups, dumbbell rows, reverse grip, dumbbell rows, stuff like that. I haven't had to do a whole lot of curls. I'll usually do them for fun now and again, but I don't really isolate arms, hardly ever. And I wonder, like, if sometimes if I did, maybe my bicep wouldn't have peeled off the way it did. So maybe there is something to having an arm day, just to get that full range of motion and really work those tendons. So maybe I will start doing curls more. I love skiing in the Adirondacks, so there's resorts everywhere. We did a lot of skiing up at Big Bear Summit, Colorado. We go to like we'd see Breckenridge. What was the other one we went to a lot? But this actually happened in Wisconsin, of all places. There's a resort called Devil's Head. It's up north by Minnesota. And I had at the time, they were brand new K2 compositions. They were just under the K2 extremes. Like, they were the badass ones. And the edges were razor sharp on them. And we were doing a bonsai down the mountain, and this kid on the snowboard like cut me off. So I like put my shoulder down and blasted him. And it was like Charlie Brown when he goes to kick the ball and she pulls the ball up and all my shit goes flying everywhere. And I was going on the hill on my back laughing my ass off because I thought I killed that kid. I swear to God, I murdered him. And I'm laughing, and I bumped over my own ski. And I felt the sharp, like, ow, that hurt. I knew something happened, but I didn't, whatever. And when I got up, I'm standing there and I'm looking on the ground and there's this big pool of blood. And I'm looking around and my skis up there and my boots over there, and it's like my buddy's screaming down the hill to like not move, and I put my hand in, it's like stinging, and I'm like, ooh, and I look at my hand, it's just blood, and I'm like, uh-oh, this ain't good. So long story short, they wound up flying me off the mountain in a helicopter, and I wound up having to get 48 stitches, and it cut right across my L5. Severed some nerves and lost feeling on one side of my body for a while. It was a bad deal, man. Your career now over comments were genuinely amusing. Yeah, right? Dude, I should have been dead so many times. It's like, come on now. But it definitely does derail things. So my wife, everybody, we all got snowboards now, so as soon as my wife gets her hip healthy, we're all going to go boarding together. Because Della's got one now, too. I don't think I would try to get into skiing again just because of how expensive it is and with the knees. But we're definitely going to go snowboarding. Where's my board? Your board is right there. And mine is that's up there somewhere. I gotta dig up in the ceiling. They're actually right next to each other. So my board's right on top of your board. Hopefully the heat hasn't fucked him up. All right, here we go. One monster superset. That hurt. Trying to push it. That hurt a lot. Ow. right. Here we go. Mandingo Massacre. Hell yeah. It's amazing he works this hard with a torn bicep. Translation: this guy needs mental health bad. Once I get my bicep fixed, we'll see. Do a lot of square bales of hay. Hell yeah. Dude, that'll get you, man. Hay bales are some work. Use the hooks, or do you grab the strings? I used to own horses, so I mean, we get enough hay to feed them, but my mother had a story where she just gotten off the bench and got into her car, and some hobo starts punching her window, threatening to kill her. And she's pretty weary. See, that's where I reach into my center console and pull out my 45 and ask if can I help you? What's your squat and deadlift? Well, until I tore my bicep, I would have been opening the competition with a 640-pound deadlift and attempting a 700. Now, that's not to say I would have gotten 700, but that's what I was going to attempt. So I would say, a gun to my head, 680, 685. You can't really train chest with a torn bicep. Yeah, you can. You just got to be creative. So, like, think of ways to take your arms out of the movement. What's some ways we can do that? Well, we can do flies. We could do flies. Maybe raises. Flies. You can do flies. But here's like your biceps got, I would say probably 3 weeks I could start doing minimal weight, right? And that alone is enough to be able to create hypertrophy, provided you do enough volume. Now, some ways, let me see. I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna come up with exercises you can do without using your biceps for chest. That'll be my homework tonight. Cable flies. No, there's got to be something else we can do. We'll figure it out. I'm going to do some homework. I'm going to study the anatomy here and think of a few exercises we can do. Otherwise, I'm going to have one really big boobie. Isometrics. Yeah, isometrics. The Nautilus machines like Platts did with his bicep tear. Well, yeah, so pushing's not a problem, and then you use one arm to lower it, and that'll save your bicep. So machines, yeah, we'll be able to do machines. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go to the gym more, sweetheart. I'm gonna have to. They got the belt squat there. They got that stupid little deadlift machine thingy that works pretty good. Yeah, we'll do some homework. Hell yeah. One-tone body. That's right. You're like, man, this guy must have a problem. He's got one giant arm. There's dark circles under his eyes, and he's carrying like a bag of porno books. All right, guys. It is, holy shit, it's 11. Yeah, we're going to have to get our gym membership, babe. Unfortunately, I don't know if the Muay Thai gym has enough machines for us to do what we need to do. There's a gym at the Muay Thai gym we go to, and they got a bench, they got a squat rack, they got a cable pull down, they've got they do have a fly machine, but it's a real basic gym. I bought pulleys on Amazon, screwed them under the beam and basement, and use them for cable chest flies, use them for rear delt. So what I would need to do, because I have these, right, obviously, and I could kind of bend over and do them this way, but ideally I'd want a way to, actually I wonder if bend over is better because you can use your weight to load it up more. I don't know, we're going to figure something out though. There's no way we're doing nothing. We can rebuild Gen X. He is the $600,000 man. Holy moly. What's up, Sophie? Alright, guys. OC, I recommend Fire Blood. You won't regret it. Stack 39 powerhouse ingredients designed to testo boost. To boost energy fuel, let me see here. Fire Blood. Fire Blood. I do supplement reviews. Limited edition. Fire Blood supplement. Supplement. $68 a tub. Let's see. Andrew Tate, huh? You know I'm a lot stronger than Andrew Tate is. Like a lot stronger. Not a little bit stronger, a lot stronger. Pretty sure he could kick my ass in a kickboxing match though. But healthy gut. So he's got okay, so they've got glutamine in it for your gut lining. Let's see. You know what? This actually looks like it's pretty good. I'm gonna have to check it out. Super glue and duct tape. Hell yeah. I know, isn't it? It's kind of, if I press it up against my body, you can't tell. Let's see if we get the lighting here. If they got lighting's over this way. You get can you see that? Maybe this lighting over here is better. Trying to get the lighting to where you can see the difference. It's like I can't even, like I can squeeze that and get the striations in it, but I can't even flex this. Yeah. The lighting's best right here. All right. Good luck, sir. You're amazing. Keep training. Looking strong. Have a nice day. Hell yeah, user. What do you need surgery? They're going to reattach my bicep. The tendon popped. So you get one. This is like a guitar string right here. Doing, 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 doing. Here, there's nothing. Pain in your right elbow. So if you have tendonitis in your right elbow, the only way to fix that is to let it heal, but it'll be stronger if you do. 2 weeks. If you can't wait 2 weeks, get some Iron Rebel elbow sleeves, like the bench press ones. They will eliminate all that pain. They're awesome. I bought a pair. I'm going to start using them. Your arm fully healed. Yes, I do need surgery, 100%. Now, okay, like, could I get by if I don't have it? Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to keep training at a high level. Like, I don't know, I can still do bench, deadlift, and squat. I guess once it heals up, I'd be able to pull without a problem, but like, I don't know. I'm not willing to do that though. Not if there's an easy fix for it. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. All right, I may or may not. I might get on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'll have tomorrow night to get online. And then after that, it's surgery. I'll be offline for a couple of days. I'll probably be out of it on Friday. And then, I'll have a cast on, so I don't know how much training I'm going to want to do for over the weekend, if any. So, we'll see. Maybe I'll get one more day in tomorrow. I think you should live stream the surgery. I'll set the camera up in the corner of the room. All right, guys. I'm going to get offline. I love y'all. I'll see you on the battlefield. Hell yeah. Pew pew.